Hi, fifth grade. This week we're going to practice how we're going to add color to our three objects which we drew last week. What is shading? Shading is a technique used to create the illusion of depth in a two-dimensional drawing. While drawing the outline of our three objects, we added lines and curves that helped make our objects appear 3D. We are drawing on a 2D piece of paper. So are our objects really three-dimensional? No. We're creating an optical illusion when drawing these 3D objects. Optic meaning eye and illusion meaning trick. So we are attempting to trick the viewer into believing these 2D drawings are three-dimensional. Shading is going to enhance the optical illusion and make these objects look even more realistic. When we look at realistic drawings, we notice two things that every talented artist does. They add values and shadows. Value is the lightness and darkness of a single color. A shadow is a dark area or shape on the surface next to an object. Why do these artists add value and shadows? Because they understand light. How light a color is or how dark a color is depends on the light. The part of the object that is closest to the light source has the lightest value. As you get further away from the light source, the value will get darker and darker until the object completely blocks the light and a shadow is created. The amount of pressure you use when coloring is what will give you different values. When coloring the area closest to the light source, you want a light value, so push lightly with your pencil. As you get further away from the light, toward the middle of your object, push a little harder for a medium value. As you get even further on the opposite side of the light source, push very hard for the darkest value. The object is blocking the light that would hit the surface that the object is sitting on, causing there to be a shadow. When coloring the shadow, you want the value to go from dark to light. The closer the object is to the shadow, the darker. The further away the shadow from the object, the lighter. This is a difficult concept, so let's practice together. On a piece of scrap paper, draw these three forms and we will practice adding values and shadows together. Start with choosing where you want your light source to come from. Pick a corner of your paper and draw a sun with a few arrows. To help create guidelines of where your light, medium, and dark values should be, based on your light source, draw some ovals lightly over your forms and label them. Start shading the object closest to the light source a light value. As you move further away from your light source, you'll push harder to add a medium value, and even harder to make a dark value. The object that is furthest from the light source should be shaded using mostly dark values. Objects with a straight edge, like a cube, should be shaded using only straight lines. Objects that are curved, like a cone and a sphere, should be shaded using curved lines. I shaded one of the forms with just a number 2 pencil, and the last two using colored pencils. You can also use crayons if you do not have colored pencils. When you finish shading each form, you're ready to add a shadow to each. Shadows should be added with a black colored pencil or crayon. Shadows are always on the opposite side of the light source because the object is blocking the light from hitting the surface the object is sitting on. First, make an outline of the shape of the form, then shade in the shadow. Where the object and the shadow meet should be the darkest value. The further away the shadow gets from the object, the lighter the shadow becomes. This is because the light starts to reach over the object and hits the surface in front of it. This practice drawing of the three forms is the assignment that is due today. It is just a practice, so you can leave all your guidelines and labels. Make sure you added a horizon line so that it does not look like your objects are floating. Take a picture of your practice drawing and upload it to this assignment.